Hello from the other side. I'm Lumina, your host today, and we are thrilled to present our pilot videocast episode featuring two amazing guests, Anuj Shinde and Shubhankar Deshpande. These guys are
Hi.
our batchmates in college, come friends, come allies. But we'll get to that in a minute. I would first like to lay the premise of our pilot episode today. Herpetology, for the uninitiated, is the study of reptiles and amphibians. It involves studying the habitat ecology, mating patterns, taxonomy, and various other aspects of these elusive and mysterious animals. Today, we shall be grilling Anuj and Shubhankar on these very aspects. We'll also be straying a little bit into the murky waters of choosing an unconventional career, but we hope to emerge enlightened. For that is what we do at the Science Paradox, to de-entangle science from obscurity and present it to you in a manner akin to watching a Star Wars film. If the force is strong with you, then you will get this. So we hope you enjoy our vidcast come podcast series as much as we do, and let's dive right in. Now, a little bit about Anuj. He's an undergrad student at Ferguson College, Pune, and an avid nature lover. He is passionate about zoology and the ecological sciences, apart from being an almost full time comic with his weird antics and laugh till you die one liners. He has always been fascinated by the secretive life reptiles and amphibians live and the various shapes and sizes they come in. He intends to pursue a career in scientific research and conservation, where he will try to make sense of their lives and behavior and identify the various problems that they face in their habitats.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Urja. I'll be another host, one of the hosts for today. So I'll be talking a bit about Shubhankar. Shubhankar is a sophomore from Ferguson College, just like the rest of us. Essentially interested in taxonomy and ecology of scorpions and reptiles. He wants to understand the cryptic speciation in scorpions with the help of molecular tools and morphological comparisons. Big words for us commoners, but I think he'll help us out to digest and understand the concepts. So Shubhankar was just 6 years old when his fascination to know more about this creepy crawly started, and he actively started pursuing this curiosity of his when he was in 11th standard. Now I have seen Shubhankar for the past 2 years, spending hours together on field visits and truly dedicating and focusing on being familiar with many species of animals that we have not even heard about. He, with a team of a lot of renowned scientists, they have described a new species of scorpion from the eastern fringes of the northern Western Ghats. Now, we can all agree that that is some big achievement for an undergrad like Shubhankar, or basically us being in the same boat. We know that that's massive. So, one more thing which he wishes to do is he wants to study the natural history of this neglected taxa. Now, about his future, now it's a mystery to me as well because I talked to him and I wanted to understand what he wants to do. Well, he says that he wants to do a bit of this and a bit of that. So let's see what he chooses for his post graduation, and we'll keep you updated about it.
Hi, I'm Anushri, the third host for today. And now that we know our two guests, without further ado, we'll go into getting to know them better. So, my first question is to you, Anuj. What kind of work are you currently engaged in?
Yeah, so currently I'm doing a bunch of courses in ecology and evolution. And moreover, I am also working on this project which deals with reptile and amphibian taxonomy. A team of 8 people have actually fished out all the ideas of the different genera of herbs found in India.
Wow.
Herbs. Yeah, so herbs are basically a collective term for amphibians and reptiles, and it's nothing to do with the disease. Okay, yeah, it's making that thing clear. So yeah, and we are planning to compile data into an app, which I think will be a good reference for many wildlife enthusiasts around India. Moreover, I do some science communication work on my social media page called Herb Club,
Okay.
where I share all the recent trends and the advances in the field of herpetology.
That's
So
great.
yeah, that's all I'm up to lately.
So when would you think we'll be seeing this app coming up? Because that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, so the app should be around, it have been launched actually, but yeah, we are working very hard towards it. We are facing few challenges, so yeah, it's going to take some time, but yeah, it's definitely gonna come sometime this year, at least one of these.
That's great. Wish you all the best for that. So Shubhankar, would you like to tell us what
Thanks.
work you are involved in currently?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm currently affiliated with Institute of Natural History Education and Research, and we are trying to describe new species from various parts from northern Western Ghats and even from South India. So we are also trying to map those locations, and yeah, we are trying to introduce this undescribed species in front of everyone.
Ah, that's nice. That's nice because most of the people don't even know about such species,
Yeah,
and they don't, even if they know, it's a matter of very little recognition towards them. So I'm pretty sure your work is going to
yeah,
be really,
we are trying to popularize them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. So, what made you choose this particular stream of science and essentially finalize that you want to establish a career in this path?
Okay, so uh, since my childhood, I was fascinated about snakes. I used to love them a lot, and I used to read about them when I was in school, and I met few people who really helped me to understand this subject properly. So when I was in 11th,
Mm-hmm.
I came to know that no, I really want to do something in this field, and I can't do anything else half-heartedly. So yeah, I decided to pursue my degree in zoology, and I always wanted to work on this taxa. So
That's
I
nice.
used to find, yeah, interest in them.
What
So
about you,
that's really
Anuj? That's true. What made you think that herping is what you want to do in life? What made you finalize that you want to make your career in this?
So yeah, as far as I remember, I wasn't very fond of reptiles. I mean, herp. I mean, I didn't care much about them back in my childhood, but I know that my interest in wildlife, like many other wildlifers, started with snakes. And it was one incident where I actually witnessed a common crate with a very deadly snake getting rescued. And so, yeah, the snake rescue, he didn't have a lot work to do here. So, he didn't mind answering my questions, which were pretty naive. Like, how do you tell a venomous one from a not
Hmm.
non-venomous one? He patiently answered all the questions. But more importantly, he introduced me to a site called indiansnakes.org. And yeah, so this is basically a snake database, which was, they had 150 species back then. And that's where I used to spend all my internet time. I used to have 1 hour internet time back then in 2013. So yeah, and it aggravated when I actually saw a snake in wild. So
Oh,
in 2014, I think I saw a shield which I couldn't ID back then. It was sitting on an earthworm, okay, which is a staple diet, and earthworms. And if you've ever seen a shield feeding on an earthworm, you would know how cool of an event that is to witness. So from then on, I went full fledged into understanding these creatures from scientific point of view, and then over time it broadened to lizards and frogs also. And now I'm equally interested in all three taxas. So yeah, and there's yeah, that's it.
so that was really
Does this answer
amazing.
question?
sure, sure.
Yeah, it
Thank
does.
Of course it does.
And the joining thread here is that both of you kind of really fell in love with reptiles and amphibians. Now, for other people, what we feel as non-herpers essentially is that fear is the main factor that sometimes keeps a lot of people away from amphibians and reptiles. There are also a lot of myths about these creatures, which are, of course, completely unfounded. So, did you have any fear factor in your mind before you fell in love with these animals, and how did you overcome that?
So, as I already said, that I didn't care much about these creatures when I was young. So, I didn't actually have a fear about them. So, yeah, fear was not ever a factor in my case. In fact, now that I know what a snake bite can do to one's body, I fear venomous snakes more. Yeah, and so, but again, I think it is the curiosity in the head which kind of surpasses the fear factor.
Right.
And so I don't rescue or handle venomous snakes because I'm not trained to. Regarding frogs and lizards, I see that there's a lot of misconceptions around these creatures. So they're pretty harmless to human beings. I mean, a lizard, though it bites, none of the lizards found in India are venomous, and nor can harm us in any other ways. Like unless you like decide to chew them or lick them, right? That which is totally disgusting. Speaking of frogs, frogs are pretty cool creatures. I mean, the frogs I have handled are very reluctant to bite. Like even after prompting them, I mean, even after sticking your finger in front of their mouth, they resist biting humans. So yeah, it is. So fear towards a venomous snake is all right. I mean, but it shouldn't be to an extent that you want it killed, right? But regarding other creatures like lizards and frogs, I think they are pretty innocent creatures and they should be spared.
So true.
On a side note,
Like in,
have you ever been bitten by a snake, Anuj?
yeah, I've been bitten by a non-venomous snake when I didn't know that it was a non-venomous snake. Okay, so I
Oh.
thought of it as a
Oh.
venomous snake and it bit me. I went to the doctor and he didn't have any way to tell if it is a venomous or a non-venomous one. But eventually, I asked a friend of mine who identified it correctly, and I trusted him enough. So I just took a tetanus injection, which is generally recommended on a non-venomous snake bite. And fortunately, yeah, so I couldn't sleep that night. Oh, definitely. But when I realized that I'm like still alive after 24 hours, I was pretty chilled and didn't pay much heed later.
Okay, so Shubhankar, you already told that you have been fascinated with snakes and amphibians since the age of 6. So I don't think there was any factor of fear in your case here.
I don't think so because I was so interested. I used to directly catch some frogs or even snakes also. So
Whoa.
my parents are always tense that Are he's doing something else, and I used to bring anything in my home.
Amazing, amazing. That's actually cool. And so for other people, I mean, how do you describe falling in love with these animals as such? I mean, because when when common people talk about wildlife, they generally talk about very specific animals or plants. Like for
Yeah.
India, mostly it will be tigers, rhinoceros, right? All these
Yeah.
higher order mammals and higher order vertebrates. So, what is so special? You think what is so special about these animals that should make people fall in love with them or should draw people towards their conservation?
Okay. So uh, people have fear about snakes or geckos or any other reptile, but the main thing is that they should understand it first. Like they should keep it in mind. They should understand that any snake will not do anything unless it is harmed,
Correct.
unless it is provoked. So first, this fear uh, should be gone,
Right.
and yeah, to fall in love with these reptiles, I don't know. You need some interest in it. You
Right.
should take
Hmm.
interest in these neglected groups, and you should try to know them better. You should try to understand about their behavior.
That's correct. Also, like how reptiles and snakes are entrenched in so many
Yeah,
myths and they're so like infamous.
Yeah.
There are so many references about snakes,
I
lot
think that
of
Nagin,
is one
wrong
of the
like
things
that,
are
which
reasons.
shown
I
in
don't
movies
think I
and
would want to
serials,
admit here, but yeah.
Because
which are not
if you
correct at
look
all.
at a snake, they don't appear intimidating and dangerous to you. Yeah, if you look at a snake, they don't appear naturally intimidating to you, right? But it's all
Right.
those myths, all these folk
Yeah.
tales which have
Exactly.
given a bad rapport.
Point.
No, they have
Even there are
created
so many
this.
Contributes a
superstitions.
lot to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They've created a lot of scene behind it, around it,
yeah,
and
Hmm.
that kind of makes us, whenever. So as a child, I was not very interested in snakes and all. Like I wasn't scared of them, but my interest was vested in something else. So like, I remember my mom told me that I was like 5-ish years old, sorry, and there was a rat snake in my house. Like we had those cowl kind of a thing
yeah.
back in my Aji's place. And I think I went there for a summer vacation or something. And I wasn't scared of the snake. Like it was just lying there. I was lying next to, like I was playing next to the snake and I wasn't scared. But then I don't know, I think I was disgusted after a point. So I just walked off
Yeah.
somewhere else. So like for
Right.
people who are not herpers, I think it's difficult to find that connect. And I think, as Shubhankar said, it comes with interest, or it comes with
Correct.
going out in the wild more and being around them
Yeah.
more. And yeah, that makes sense though.
More than that, I think it is a human tendency to to find out why something exists in the way it does, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Especially the fact that
And
after all these years, people don't know so much about these animals. That's something to be ashamed about, actually.
yeah,
Uh, Info in them. We got
and
a lot to
honestly,
learn.
yeah,
Hmm.
and honestly, I think I started taking interest in these animals. It's because of Anuj and Shubhankar, to be very honest. Like
Absolutely.
Same
I
here.
wouldn't have, ventured out of my,
I would still be
whatever
scared
fear
of that lizard on my
like
wall, which is like at least 20 feet above. But still, I'm going to run away from there just because I found it looking at me.
No, I mean, I did not even know that herpetology is a subject before I came to Ferguson College, okay? Which is bad for someone who studied biology already for 2 years in school, right? I don't know what herpetology is. And then when I came to know of it and I researched more on it, I mean, I found these amazing researchers online who have dedicated their entire lives to just studying one region in the Western Ghats. That is next level passion and dedication.
Correct.
And
So,
to see other people
Lumina,
really chiding them on for pursuing some so-called weird passion, which they call weird. It's sad.
Yeah.
I would like to mention one thing that I would like to tell one thing. For many people, they think that no one is working in this group, but actually, when you start
hmm,
working in it, you come to know that there are so many people who are currently
true.
engaging themselves in this work, and lot of studies are going on
Hmm.
Hmm.
with the help of modern science.
So one of the things which kind of I realized after talking to you guys is that sometimes it's just passion or just like a liking towards one subject that drives you to choose it ahead. And once you start exploring it, you find so many people around you who have done a lot of work in this particular subject of sorts, or there are so many people who have done it before. They have come up with so many different. They have described so many species. So for you, I think both of you guys have a lot of inspirations. Inspiration which you have taken from one person, or maybe one species. You never know. So my question for you is that who or what inspired you to choose this field specifically? So maybe Anuj, you can start with the answer.
Yeah, so as I narrated the story of the common crate, that's one of the leading, like one of the main reasons why I got into this. The interest, curiosity, like towards knowing about these creatures. But later on, while reading about them, I came across this venom research scientist called Dr. Brian Fry, and he has done some very remarkable work on venom. So venom is basically a mixture of toxins what snakes have packed in their like in the just above their teeth. So yeah, I read his memoir, and that's what got me interested into venom research, which is I think a totally different field now. There's evolutionary venomics happening.
Yeah.
There's venom, all kinds of biochemistry stuff happening there. Later in my life, I think after my standard, I was introduced to Dr. Bharat Giri, and that's when I got interested in all these taxonomy and frogs. Okay. After Dr. Ishan Agarwal kind of kindled my interest in geckos and other lizards, and now I find them more interesting than other like snakes, turtles, and frogs. So yeah,
And
my inspiration have constantly been changing over time, and I think I'll be inspired by more people in the future.
And I feel sometimes it feels just nice to look up to so many people, and it's when you understand the magnitude of the work they have
Exactly.
put in this subject or any subject for that matter, you want to rise up to that bar and kind of work more towards the cause. So yeah, what about you, Shubhankar? Who was your
Okay.
inspiration?
Yeah. So when I was in school, I used to watch many shows on TV. For example, I used to watch Austin Stevens and some few documentaries of Romulus Whittaker. I just knew that I wanted to do something in this field. So I met Makaranda Ketkar. He is my first guru in this career, in this wildlife career. He taught me many things about snakes and even about birds, about geckos and many other stuff. And after my 12th grade, I used to do volunteering in InSearch Outdoors. I used to explain things about how to identify a particular species with the help of character, or what is a particular behavior of a species. I used to explain it to students. Then I met Shauri Sulakhe. Uh, he has inspired me a lot, and he taught me many things in research methodologies. And even Gaurang Govande, he has taught me many things, and I'm still learning from them. There is way to go. Even Anush has inspired me. When I came in FY, I started reading research papers because of him.
Same feeling
He
here.
has really inspired me. Even Dr. Bharat Giri taught us taxonomy, and I did a course with Anuj, which is Reptile Classroom. It was quite interesting. I'm getting inspired by many people each and every day. There are many inspirations.
That's very humbling to to feel
Wonderful.
and listen to. That's very nice, because it's just that some certain people in your life, they literally drive you to do so many things, and they keep you on your feet, and they make you actively
Yeah,
work
that's
in whatever field you've chosen.
And I guess the biggest inspiration for both of you would be the animals themselves, right?
yeah.
Yeah.